if America turn off the tourism tap, Jamaica.
If I lose, what kind of question are you asking me? If I lose, do I look like a loser?
The late evangelical preacher Pat Robertson, he says the Haitians made a pact with the devil. After they kick out France, they make a pact with the devil. That is why their economy is in such a shambles.
God, oh God! God, oh God!
Did you hear what Andrew Holness says, the Prime Minister of Jamaica? People, when I heard it, I had to scratch my head. 6 months ago, Anthony Blinken, the US Secretary of State, flew down to Jamaica in Black Hawk helicopters and said that the crisis in Haiti need to be dealt with seriously because gangs are running wild in Haiti, and Haiti literally is what you call a failed state. So he said they need the help from the CARICOM, and Kenya volunteered to send troops down, although Kenya having their crisis in their country, massive demonstration because of chronic corruption. Jamaica volunteered to send, I'm not sure if they volunteered people. I think they were told you have to send your soldiers down to Haiti because guess what? They have no chips on the table, people. They cannot push back. When Uncle Sam say, go, you say, yes, master. So what happened is that Jamaica sending troops down to Haiti. Not just soldiers, people. They also sending police personnel from the JCF. And people, I have to really scratch my head. I have to scratch my head.
On Sunday, August 11th, in the quiet community of Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, our entire nation was shaken by a brutal act of violence.
I just saw Holness gave a speech. And I'm wondering, Prime Minister Holness, which press secretary wrote that speech for you? Didn't you read it before you go and recite it? Did you read it? Because that speech don't make no sense. Because you're talking about the situation that you're in. And you're saying that if we don't act, but you're in a situation. It's like you're in the doo-doo and don't smell the doo-doo.
Haiti is the example of what could happen if states do not take the problem seriously and put in place the measures and resources necessary to bring the problem under control.
But at the end of the day, he can recite such a speech. You know why, people? Because the masses are clued into Vibes Cartel. The masses are so distracted with World Boss. People, let me work out. I have to find a way to deal with crime and gangs. Because when I listen to that speech from Andrew Holness, talk about this is what will happen if states don't act. People, you're hearing from a prime minister whose nation is having an average of 1,400 murders per year, which doesn't include miscellaneous. And talking about the missing children and the woman getting violated, the big R word. And he's saying, no, tell you what, no. We have to put our priority behind us, which is Jamaica's crime problem. But we have to go down to Haiti to solve their crime problem.
We're not broke, we're not hungry again, we're nice again, and be a class by our foot again.
So, if you can put a lid on a small population with a high murder rate, then Prime Minister Holness, how come you're going down to Haiti to solve Haiti's problem when Haiti has a history of overthrowing leaders it doesn't like?
The government has established a reward fund of $25 million for information leading to the arrest and charge of the perpetrators who committed this heinous act.
I'm trying to figure this one out, people. I think it was Jesus who said, you should pick the beam out of your eye before you pick it out of another person's eye. That's what Jesus says. Meaning that, clean up your house before you clean out somebody else's house.
Stop it. Get some help.
In geopolitics, that's not how it works. Because at the end of the day, Jamaica has no leverage. People, Jamaica has no legs to stand on. Jamaica cannot feed itself, and Jamaica economy is a tourist economy, meaning that if America turn off the tourism tap, Jamaica gasp ear, people.
We no broke, we no hungry again, we nice again, and be a class by our foot again.
So people, let's be realistic. I've said in one of my previous videos, when has the great powers, the colonial powers, ever concerned about our safety and security and trying to find a way to prevent us from shooting each other? When has there ever been? If you look at Haiti's history from 1804, when Toussaint Louverture beat Napoleon, the great French army back in the days, and it was an embarrassment to the colonial powers. So what happened is that these powers said they have to make an example of Haiti. You mean you're going to tell me that this is the first country with slaves who beat the greatest army and now become an independent republic? Wait, you see, if we ever allow those other African countries and those other Caribbean countries to kind of get strength and say, yeah, they can challenge our power, you know what's going to happen?
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
So the great powers, France and America, to tell you what, we have to make an example of Haiti so the other ones can say, hey, I will not challenge this power.
Hollywood may tell you otherwise, but gangs are not flashy, fashionable, or businesslike. They're born out of one thing, and that is chaos. Where there is rule of law, gangs have no power. Where there isn't rule of law, gangs have a lot of power. Where there is rule of law, gangs have no power. Where there isn't rule of law, gangs have a lot of power. It's as simple as that. You can guess which camp Haiti belongs to. Its history is riddled with chaos. Some of it can be blamed on Western colonizers, but the rest is homegrown. Let's start with the 15th century. In 1492, Christopher Columbus landed in the Caribbean. He found resources and wealth there, so like any good European, he claimed it for his king, the King of Spain. Thus, the Caribbean became a Spanish colony. Around 200 years later, it was divided. The western half, including Haiti, was given to France. The French brought African slaves to Haiti. They plundered the land for sugar, rum, and coffee. France kept getting richer. Haiti kept getting poorer. So in 1791, the slaves decided to fight back. They were led by this man, a former slave, Toussaint Louverture. The Haitians fought hard for freedom. In 1803, they defeated Napoleon's army. It was the first successful slave revolt in history, and they did so alone. The United States next door was no help. In fact, from 1801 to 1809, the US cut off aid to Haiti. Thomas Jefferson was president then, and he himself was a slave owner. So Jefferson thought, what if the Haitian revolt inspired American slaves? So he said no aid. The US would only recognize Haitian statehood in 1862. France did so much earlier, in 1825. But they also imposed a harsh deal on Haiti. Normally, you would expect colonizers to pay reparations, but France did the very opposite. They asked Haitians to pay reparations, and the rates were so high, it was impossible to repay. So what did Haiti do? They took loans from French banks to pay the money. Loans from French banks to pay the French. It's often called Haiti's double debt. Now, the point of the story is very simple. Haiti was never given a chance. Its economy was first crippled by colonialism and then by the double debt. Guess how long it took Haiti to repay these loans? 122 years. The last payment was made in 1947. So the start was pretty bad.
So people, as you saw the clip, you realize that from Toussaint Louverture beat Napoleon and they blockade Haiti and say, tell you what, you have to pay $150 million, which is $21 billion today. And then Uncle Sam with Citibank made another killing, meaning that they're sucking out all the wealth out of Haiti.
Now we come to the 20th century. Another invader set its eyes on Haiti, the United States of America. From 1911 to 1915, Haiti was in a flux. 7 presidents were assassinated or removed from office. So the neighboring US was spooked. What if a European power invaded Haiti again, maybe Germany or France? It would be a major setback to the US, so Washington decided to act first. In 1915, President Woodrow Wilson sent US soldiers to Haiti, thus began the American occupation. It would last until 1943. Even after the US left, their influence stayed. They backed politicians in Haiti.
Now, look at the amount of leaders who got assassinated. Look at how that country has been completely destabilized.
One such leader was François Duvalier, aka Papa Doc. As the name suggests, he was a doctor. He was called Papa Doc. After the Americans left, he entered politics. In 1950, he went underground after a military coup. That junta would rule for 6 years. Then in 1957, elections were held. Papa Doc ran a very popular campaign and he was elected president of Haiti. This was a very important moment in the country's history. Under Papa Doc, the gang culture emerged, mostly thanks to one group, the Tonton Macoute, basically the bogey men. You see, Papa Doc did not trust the army. So he reduced the number of soldiers in Haiti. Instead, he formed his own civilian armed group, the Tonton Macoute, sort of like his own personal security. We're talking about a big group here. The Tonton Macoute had some 25,000 fighters, and their job was quite simple: target Papa Doc's enemies, crush all dissent, and spread fear among the general public. And they did so pretty well. The Macoute went on a killing spree in Haiti. By some accounts, they killed 60,000 people. In 1964, Papa Doc declared himself president for life. In 1971, he died. So his son, Jean-Claude Duvalier, became president, aka Baby Doc. The US supported both these men. They gave them aid worth $900 million. That's $900 million in the 1970s. It's worth a lot more than it is today. And you know what happened to this money? Most of it was siphoned away. The Duvaliers enriched themselves with the aid money. Meanwhile, Haiti's economy crashed. Less than a dozen families had all the wealth, and they supported anyone in power. There was a glimmer of hope in 1986. That's when Baby Doc was forced out of office. The Tonton Macoute were also disbanded. But one crucial mistake was made. They were not disarmed. Their weapons were not taken away. So you had 25,000 fighters loose on the streets. Then in 1990, elections were held, the first free elections in Haiti's history. They were won by this man, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. He was a former priest and leftist leader. But his rule was off to a bad start. In 1991, the military ousted him. So the US decided to intervene once again. They sent soldiers to reverse the coup. And in 1994, Aristide was back. He was now very suspicious of the military. So he decided, no more army. That's right. Under Aristide, Haiti disbanded its army. Instead, civilian armed groups were created. These fighters would be loyal to Aristide. They would control the streets of Haiti for him. It worked for a couple of years, but Haiti's oligarchs did not like Aristide's leftist politics. It worked for a couple of years, but Haiti's oligarchs did not like Aristide's leftist politics. So they organized protests against him. In 2004, he was forced to flee the country. So now you had multiple armed groups with nothing to do. No orders to follow, no missions to carry out, and no leader to report to. All they had was weapons. You can guess what happened next.
But don't listen to Pat Robertson. The late evangelical preacher Pat Robertson, he says The Haitians made a pact with the devil. After they kick out France, they make a pact with the devil. That is why their economy is in such a shambles.
Something happened a long time ago in Haiti, and people may not want to talk about it. They were under the heel of the French. You know, Napoleon III and whatever. And they got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, we will serve you if you'll get us free from the French.
It's not the other power who put on the sanctions, embargoed it, sucking out all the wealth, destabilizing it, taking out its leader. It's the pact with the devil. But which devil? People, you need to be informed and need to be properly educated with the socio-economic and the geopolitical operations that's taking place. This religious argument will actually turn us into idiots. It's always about systematic control. Remember that no matter how much slavery is abolished, the system of power and white supremacy, we cannot afford people of color to rise because that's threatening to their hegemony. Case in point, look at China. China took 40 years. Look at Russia. Russia is beyond control. Look at Brazil. Now they're signing the BRICS agreement to challenge the Western powers. You see the little wars that are taking place? You think that's a coincidence? Say one up in Ukraine? It's a threat. Remember this, people. Power will never give up any level of its hegemony unless it can gain more power. So when you really see Kenyan and Jamaican troops going on to Haiti, ask yourself this fundamental question. We have gangs in Chicago, we have gangs in St. Louis, we have gangs in Philadelphia, we have all uprising and gangs in Kenya, and then we have a lot of gangs in Jamaica. And people, think wisely. Who really cares about us deleting each other? So the question you must ask yourself logically, is it really to stop the gangs why they are there, or why Uncle Sam tell the other nations to go there? Or is it there's something else that they're not telling us? I know what it is, but I can't say it to you. But if I research very well, where there's no spoils, there's no war. On that note, people, Jam Can is out. And I hate his distraction. Me I talk about. See you in the next video. Yay!